Hi all, Matt here. Welcome to the Monday Mix. Today I wanted to do a short album review of the new Balance and Composure album, With You in Spirit. So Balance and Composure are a band up until recently I didn't really hear much of, other than stuff that came up in like daily mixes on Spotify, which to be fair I really did like when it came up. I had an opportunity of seeing them at Outbreak Festival in Manchester this year, and I think it made it all the lot better not knowing much of them, because they played one of the new songs in the set, and to me, like, I didn't know what was new or what wasn't, so I didn't have that kind of, oh, this is a new song, this is an old song, kind of like prejudice, if you will, which a lot of people seem to have, and I know I'm guilty of it as well. But yeah, they played Cross the Burr at Outbreak, and it was fantastic, and it was one of the standout songs of the set for me. And again, I didn't even know that was one of the newer ones, so whenever I got the opportunity to listen to this album and kind of take time to actually review it, it was good to go, oh, I recognise that one from Outbreak, that was that track, so that was great. But yeah, so yeah, this is the band's first LP in 8 years, which it could be very daunting as fans. When a band leaves it that long, it's kind of like, oh, what are they going to bring out? And the longer you leave it, it's like, is it going to be that good? With this band, I think they did take like a little bit of a break between the last albums. I'm not fully aware of what happened there, but they're back now, and this album, with it being a comeback album, not once did I feel that there was anything missing from it. And what I mean by that is when I got to the last track, I was like, oh, that was amazing, that was great. I didn't go, oh, they could have done an acoustic track or whatever. Like, I didn't feel like that at all. And for the first album back in 8 years, I think that's fairly impressive, so hats off to them completely. The album is very modern sounding. I would very much recommend, if you can, listen to them through good speakers, because there's a lot of studio techniques in there that utilise good speakers. Like, I'm lucky to have my speakers and I think they're brilliant. There's a lot of panning techniques and vocal techniques that, like, I've listened to them on like kitchen speakers, and the technique almost feels lost. Like, it's good, but with good speakers or good earphones, it will stand out. Like the panning, there's a lot of panning swells in it, and like it just really, really works with it. If I had to sum the band up from this album to someone who'd never heard of them, I would almost say it's almost like Alexa on Fire with Dallas singing meets Silver Sun Pickups, and I think that's a fairly big compliment because they're two huge bands. So if you're into either of them, this is the album you need to be listening to. The album has some religious overtones in the lyrics. Like, there's a song called Cross the Burr, and there's some other like pepperings throughout the album, but I won't spoil it. Please go listen to it and take your own opinions from it. But with the religious lyrics, it makes the album feel all the more haunting. Like, I felt there was a very haunting presence in some of the songs, especially in Leadfoot. I just thought, oh, this atmospheric kind of like open sound, especially with the guitars do a very, very good job of that. Like, there's heavy reverbs on the guitars, the riffs are very distinguished, they're very haunting, and that's the word, if someone made me sum this album up, is haunting, in a good way. I think it's hard in a streaming age that we live in for bands to bring a 37-minute album out and it feel fresh. What I mean by that is you're going to have to continually bring out a single, then in a month another one, or in another 2 months, whatever. And by that time, when the album's ready to come out, we've heard half of it. This album really lends itself to hearing it entirely. Like, the intro song is strange, and it's not like an intro that leads straight into the next song. It's like an A, B, and then the album starts, and I think that really works for this kind of album. And then the opposite of that is the title track at the end of the album really does a good job of wrapping everything up. And it's not like it wraps it up and tails off and it's just, that's the album done. It feels like, I've had everything I need from this album, this is great, and you're left satisfied listening to an album. I was a big fan of the bass tone in Sorrow Machine. I thought the bass in this album was brilliant. I just thought in that track specifically, it was a standout. So hats off to the bassist, hats off to the production, amazing. But yeah, overall, I'll give the whole album 4.1 out of 5. I just thought it was brilliant. I think it really helped me not knowing much of the band. Since first listen, I've went back and properly listened to their discography, and this album really fits into that. It's not like they've had release, 8 years of nothing, something completely different. This really feels like it fits in. So going forward and seeing them live, fingers crossed we'll see them at some UK festivals coming up. This will go down a treat with fans and people who've never heard them. Like, I really believe it. But yeah, just wanted to give a short review on that. Please let me know what you think about it. Please go check it out in the first place. And if there's anything you want me to cover, please just send it over or put it in the comments and I'll give it a listen. But thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.